In order to be truly successful in this world, you have to develop an understanding of the psychology. And I've taken a lot of slings and arrows so that you don't, developing a compassionate genius so that you don't have to. Let's talk about the effects of emotional abuse, what you need to know, and in the end, I'll reference our Quick Start training. There's a couple of key points about emotional abuse that I want people to know. Because emotional abuse, in my view, gets at the spirituality, the psychology of society, and something we have to understand and turn around. And so one key point is that to understand the personalities of those with personality disorders. Because folks with, be they extreme narcissism, psychopathic, borderline, people with personality disorders do not have, the ordinary human characteristics of empathy, a heart, a give and take, a back and forth kind of thing. They have a laser-like view of you in life, and they can uphold this extremely radar-like view of you in a situation for decades. This is what's incomprehensible. Okay, because in most situations, people can change their perspectives over time, they can soften, they can understand more, they realize that conflict unto itself is not a great calling, something that can be applied to the Middle East with those who just want conflict and not a state or any sense of order. But mainly I'm thinking here in the United States, and just how those to understand, for one, people with personality disorders can target another person with laser-like precision at their weaknesses for months, days, years, even decades. So one key point is to understand there's people who don't want normality, who don't want reciprocity, interdependence, this kind of thing. The other point is that they do have a way to enact a radar-like, laser-like focus on another human being, and especially at their weak spots. So you could be a person who's pretty, is healthy, not have a lot of weaknesses, although, those with personality disorders will see empathy, and those with heart as having weaknesses, which is why I pose the opposite. With goodness as strength, to demonstrate to people that our goodness is stronger than those with personality disorders. People with personality disorders are especially astute at really honing in on a person's weaknesses or their normal desires. If it's, in a divorce, if it's to be with their children, it can be anything, but if it's an activity of yours, it's knowing they have this radar they apply to a psychological understanding of the people they target. And they really go for your weak spots. So what I'm getting is that the people who experience this are feeling like they have a laser-like beam trained at their brain, not to mention their heart and soul. And that's really the devastating effects of emotional psychological abuse, because they're really, there's something I've worked with over time, the tort for the intentional infliction of emotional distress as a legal remedy for emotionally, psychologically, abusive situations. And the reality is, when we say intentionally inflicting emotional distress, that's precisely what those with a personality disorder is doing. They're sending this laser beam towards your brain or toward your legitimate desires. And that's where, and as I said, they can uphold it for days, months, years, decades. So that's what people have to understand. And that's part of, while we look at the political landscape, the worldly conflicts, all these kind of things, there is an underlying sense that these tendencies of psychologically abusive and emotionally abusive actors are in play. And because there are people who don't want reason, whereas a good percentage, I like to say 70, 80% of people at least want reason, want to live in a healthy society, even if they don't know it, because they're, or at least we're temporarily taking things for granted. Most people in the long run, when it really comes down to it, which is why I fight as hard as I do, want reason in their situation. So let me jump ahead to this quick start training, because these are the points you have to know. And the development of your purpose is the spiritual vaccine to these kind of assaults and attacks that can come at you. So I offer this $199 quick start training, a new thing on our website, Go. And this makes sure you take the right step for right now. Make sure you're on the right path in your life. Start to develop your purpose. If you're dealing with a challenging situation, you'll get some relief, some guidance. And so go to our website, theworldsbestmediator.com. You can start to earn the Science of Inner Strength honor and really get a sense that you're on the right path, no matter what kind of challenge you're dealing with. I don't know everything, but I know for those willing to step up, I can help you.